This year, we've got an absolutely loaded American roster to talk about. Today, I'm going to be going through some of the most exciting prospects who will be playing for the US at the World Juniors. This team is absolutely stacked, and they will more than likely win the gold medal this year. If you are new to the channel, then please do subscribe, and as always, be sure to hit that like button, everybody. So for starters, I'm going to start with the vet for Team USA. That would be Cutter Gauthier, who went 5th overall to the Philadelphia Flyers back in 2022. The big 6'2", two-way center has had a fantastic career in the NCAA since being drafted. For Boston College, he had 37 points in 32 games last season, and this year he has so far 23 points in 17 games played. Cutter is consistent with solid production, but the most stellar thing about him is the incredible defensive game that he brings to the table. Gauthier is a warrior on the ice. This guy knows how to win puck battles, and he always seems to get the job done along the boards. He's a great puck carrier and is excellent in transition. I love his offensive game too. This is a guy who can be a force and drive the puck right to the net. Cutter has a great hockey mind. It's sharp, he thinks quick, and overall, he has amazing energy. His American teammates are certainly going to feed off of it. Next up, I have Jimmy Snuggerud. Now, this prospect was fantastic last season, but this year he is taking a step back as he only has 16 points in 18 games played. The 23rd overall pick from 2022 had 50 points in 40 NCAA games last year, so the production dropping is quite the surprise. He was excellent for the Americans last year as he had some big, timely goals. He finished the tournament with 13 points and 5 goals. I'm hoping he can rediscover some of his magic. Jimmy has got some sweet creativity to his game. There's a lot of swagger with him, and he has a lot of patience and some above average vision for sure. For my next 4 players who I'm stoked about, I'm going to go with the 4 USNT DP boys who played together in their draft year. That would be Will Smith, Ryan Leonard, Gabe Perreault, who all played on the same line together, and I'll also add that they all now play together in Boston College. Oliver Moore also played with those guys, but he joined a different team in the NCAA, and that would be the University of Minnesota. These guys all have loads of talent. Will Smith and Ryan Leonard were both drafted in the top 10 last summer, and Moore and Perreault went 19th and 23rd overall. Smith is, of course, the flashy playmaker with seemingly an unlimited amount of skill, but I do love Leonard for his mean, aggressive two-way game. Those two are huge additions to this squad. I would say the Americans will likely go with Gauthier and Smith down the middle in the top 6. I'm excited to see what Smith can do. This is a guy who should be able to put on a phenomenal show. Smith simply has magic to his game. The hands are elite, and the constant moves that he pulls off can be breathtaking. He's going to move the puck around like a wizard out there. He's going to have the US power play cooking, and he's going to generate a ton of offense for them. His 23 points in his first 17 college games displays that no matter where he goes, he racks up the points. Ryan Leonard, who is one of my favorite players from last year's draft class, is also off to a pretty hot start in Boston. He has 10 goals and 18 points. He's getting more and more comfortable with that league and showing that his rugged style of play can counteract against larger men. This American team is going to have so much depth. They're going to be dangerous, they're going to be balanced, and they're going to be able to deliver plenty of goals. Leonard has such a well-rounded game. He knows how to forecheck and backcheck. He's not lousy whatsoever. He constantly is fighting for possession. He's great when his team is moving down the ice. He's got a good stride. He's certainly not as good of a skater as Smith, Moore, and Perreault, but he can still move well enough. Leonard can do a little bit of everything. He's going to score some big goals. His shot is pretty dang elite, and I honestly thought it was rather underrated during his draft year. He also makes great plays. They combine nicely with his solid movements and deception. And his hockey IQ, that's something to brag about too. He's got it going on so very much. I'm a big Leonard guy, and I could go on all the day about him, but let's move on to Gabe Perreault. I'm not as crazy about Perreault, but I can't deny that his game has improved quite a bit so far this season. He's developing well. He's got 25 points and 20 assists with Boston so far. The goals aren't coming as much so far, but his excellent playmaking skills are still thriving and honestly are getting even better. Perreault is really going to show off his elite hands. The moves he pulls off are incredible, and the way he finds his teammates is special. So we can expect Perreault to be a huge setup guy for the power play. The downside to Perreault is that he's extremely one-dimensional, which makes me wonder just how much 5-on-5 ice time he gets, but he should be a lock for the top power play unit. You would think so, but oh man, this roster is absolutely stacked, so it is hard to confirm that. As for Oliver Moore, his college career hasn't been quite as stellar as his former teammates, but there's still a lot to like about him. He's a total Swiss Army knife kind of player. Moore is so good defensively and he's such a gifted skater. Speed is the name of his game. His eyes are good. He sees the ice on another level, and overall, he has a very fast mind. Moore is fantastic in his own zone and in the neutral zone. This is where he is the most effective. He wins nearly every race and is always hunting for the puck. The offense hasn't been so great so far this year for him though. He does only have 2 goals in 18 games played. He's still got 10 assists, and in his career that will likely be his specialty, offensively of course. During his draft year, it was feared just how good could his goal scoring be, and if he can't bump those numbers up, then he will likely become a third-line center rather than a second. Chicago will have to see how he pans out, but still, he is a pretty good, well-balanced forward, and he's going to be an important addition to this American lineup. Chicago does have 4 prospects on this team, and another one who I'm eager to see is Frank Nazar. He's a point-per-game player so far this year with the University of Michigan. He's got 18, and he's bouncing back quite well after unfortunately missing the majority of last season due to injury. He is another player who should be able to help out a bunch in the offensive zone. He is a genius there, and that is where he thrives the most. He's a good puck possession guy, and he knows how to create a lot of space for himself and his teammates. He's quite crafty, and he makes lots of unpredictable passes that are very beneficial for his teammates. I'm not too sure where he's going to fit into this lineup, but he should be a pretty interesting player to keep your eye on. Next up, I've got Gavin Brindley, who actually has an identical stat line to Nazar. Brindley has 10 goals and 8 assists in 18 games played. This is a great energy guy that will really come in handy for the US. He's got a fairly similar game to Moore, but maybe just a bit more offense. He is smaller as he is only 5'9", but still, he does play a big man's game. He's such a good attacker and is always fighting for possession. He's a little defensive beast. He's not afraid to hit and makes some noise out there. His goal scoring seems to be improving. He's got a solid shot, but more importantly, Brindley has sneaky movements. He anticipates plays ahead of time and always gets rewarded for that. Brindley simply can make any line better because he does all sorts of stuff that helps make his teammates' lives a little easier. He also could be a pretty huge steal as well. He was seen by many as a top 15 talent in last year's draft, but somehow dropped to one of the first picks in the second round. Now, I think the US have stellar forwards and the goaltending looks pretty legit too, but I do think the D-core could be a bit better. It's not as elite as the rest of the team, I'll put it that way. Still though, there are some pretty good defenders who were drafted in the second round in 2022 that are returning, like Seamus Casey and Ryan Chesley. I would say they're both taking some good steps forward with their developments. Chesley is so good defensively, though the offensive ability is a little limited. That's okay because he does the gnarly stuff in his own zone that not every defenseman can pull off. He knows how to steal the puck and make smart choices to get it down the ice. He thrives there, and he'll be a key piece for the US. Casey too. He's much different. He thrives in the offensive zone. The right-hand shot defenseman has such spectacular hands. Don't sleep on his shot, as it is mean and accurate, but lately it's his playmaking skills that have really been taking a leap forward. Casey is already just about to match his last season total of 29 points. It took him 37 games last year to achieve that, and he's already at 23 in 18 games played. Expect some good offense from this New Jersey Devils prospect. No way around it though. The guy who I'm stoked about is Hutson on the blue line. He's another offensive defenseman, and man, can he ever deliver. He's known for his small size, but he is getting bigger, which is great. He's still not this superstar in his own zone, and he likely never will be, but he's still effective with his perfect breakout passes. Hutson's movements are lethal. He's a fantastic skater with a tremendous amount of speed. This combines nicely with his elite hands. His puck handling skills are freaky, so it is a thing of beauty to see him fly down the ice and dance with the puck and dodge opponents. Once he's in the offensive zone, he really begins to do his thing. He cooks and dictates play with his aggressiveness. His mean dangles and willingness to hold on to the puck is special. Hutson is going to get to where he needs to go. He finds ways to buy extra time and then decides when he's going to strike, whether that is with an excellent pass or just by flying in and creating a chance of his own. He's really entertaining and he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And finally, now we've got a bit of debate in net. Who are you rocking with? We've got Trey Augustine and Jacob Fowler. Augustine was with the team last year and he did have some struggles. Plus, Augustine's stats have dipped a bit since his draft year too. Whereas Jacob Fowler, he has seen some improvement this season. He actually went in the 3rd round. Augustine was drafted before him in the 2nd round, but so far I'd say I'm Team Fowler. His stats are better and he looks more dialed in at the moment. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he ends up being the starter for Team America. His .925 save percentage is hard to beat and his goals against average is 2.15, which is really good. Nonetheless, I'm sure the competition in net will be really good for the team. This team has loads of that, and it's going to shape this squad into a potential winner. We have plenty of stuff to discuss in the comment section today, everybody. I want you all to let me know, are you Team America or are you Team Canada? Which squad do you think will be better? Thank you all for tuning in to the video. If you're new to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. Leave a like if you can. The growth has been so awesome to see on here. Engagement is a ton of fun, so be sure to let me know who you guys are the most excited to see on the States this year. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.